Okay, guys. So as you see on the screen, okay, uh, I'm gonna be doing one video for sure. I don't know if I have to do two of them or not. We will find out, right? So we have, and it can't. So we're in Genesis 27, as you see on the screen, and this is Jacob's deception, okay. And it came to pass when was old Isaac, basically when Isaac was old, and were dim his eyes. That means aging, basically, so that he could not see, right? And I do apologize about the background noise. My cat's going crazy. That he called Esau, his son, the older son, his son older, and said to him, "My son," and and he answered him, meaning Esau answered back, replying basically like, "Yes, what do you want, Dad? Here I am." And he said, so that would be that would be Jacob. So we have Jacob and Esau. Jacob says, "Behold, now I am old, not do I know the day of my death, and therefore please take your weapons and your quiver and your bow." Okay, because remember Esau's basically basically really hairy wild man, does a lot of hunting. Okay, and go out to the field and hunt for me game, and make me some savory food. Okay, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that uh that may bless you my soul. So basically, I want to eat, and then I want to bless you with my soul before I die. Okay, the word bless here, as we see, is tava rasha, tava rasha, if I'm saying it right. Okay, and it means to bless or kneel or to be blessed. Okay, in the case of this, it's to be blessed, that I may bless, to bless or to. So it would be the nifal or the peel in the Hebrew. So it'd be either to be blessed him or to bless him, basically, before I die. So basically, I'm hungry. Please make me some yummy foods. I want to eat some yummy foods before I die. Right now, Rebecca, that's Isaac's woman, was listening when spoke Isaac to Esau. Okay, so that's Isaac and Esau. Okay, his son. So Rebecca was like kind of like overhearing the conversation basically when Isaac was speaking to his son Esau. Okay, and went. So we have Rebecca, that's the mother of Esau. We have Isaac, the dad of Esau, and went Esau to hunt game and to bring it. So then Rebecca spoke to Jacob, her son. That's the other son of hers. Okay, saying, "Indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau." So now she's gossiping. Maybe not gossiping in a bad way, but gossiping in the sense of uh, telling something that I guess really doesn't need to be said for the most part. But we'll get into that later. Okay. In any case, she first of all she overhears a conversation. That's the first thing that's going wrong in this situation, right? She overhears. She overhears Isaac because it uses the word listening. Was listening. Shoma'at. Shoma'at. Right? If I'm saying it right. To hear or listen, right? To hear with attention or interest is that word in the Hebrew. Okay? And she overhears, and then after she overhears, she goes over here to Esau, right? And tells Esau what she did. My cat, she tells Esau what she heard. Esau being the brother of Jacob, right? Now remember, Esau is the one that's supposed to go out and have a. Oh, my bad. I gotta back up because I jumped down. So Rebecca spoke to Jacob. So basically, she's telling Jacob the conversation between Isaac and Esau, that Isaac wants to bless Esau. Wait, is that Isaac that was? My brain is not working. Um, I gotta scroll back. No, Jake. Oh, that's Jacob. Yeah. So Isaac. Yeah. So Isaac wants to bless Esau. So just if my cat would stop distracting me, I could get this done. Like my cat's zooming around the house like he lost his mind. I do apologize, guys. I'm staying on target here, so just bear with me. Okay. Anyway, so Isaac has a conversation with Esau. Esau being the wild man. Go out into the wild. Go hunt some game. Bring it back. Make some stew so that I can then um bless you, right? Rebecca overhears the conversation between Isaac and Esau, okay? And then she goes to Jacob, her other son. That would be the younger son, okay? And she tells him, saying, "Indeed, I heard your dad speak to Esau, your brother, saying, 'Bring me game and make for me savory food that I may eat it and bless you.'" Right? As you see, same idea. Okay? To bless or kneel, same idea. This one is Va Avarasha, if I'm saying that right. Okay? In the presence of Yahweh before my death. So she's basically telling something that's happening. Now, in the idea of gossip, right? Gossip is something that if it doesn't involve you, you shouldn't be talking about it. Okay? In the sense of, I need to tell somebody else. So when I deal with someone, if there's something going on and there's a story, if it doesn't involve me in some sort of way, I should not be saying it. The second thing of gossip is that it has to be, I want to tear this person down. So it's for the motive of, let me drag them down, let me talk bad about them, let me drag their name through the mud, kind of very toxic, very motivated for the purpose of harm, emotional harm, mental harm, stuff like that. Okay. So now, therefore, my son, right? So she's still talking to, Jacob, and she says, "Now, my son, obey my voice," meaning be obedient, right? Obey, right? Shama, or sorry, Shema or Shama, something like that. To hear or listen or obey, or to hear with attention or interest, right? My voice, according to what I command you, right? So even humans in the Old Testament gave commands as well. Go now to the flock, right? Because Jacob was a shepherd, I believe, or something of that sort, to the flock, and bring me from there 2 kids of the goats. So two young offspring of the goats. Choice, right? So like very good quality offspring of our herd of goats. Children. So like young ones. And I will make I will make from them savory food for your father. Right? Now notice what's going on. So Esau's going up. Hold on, guys. I apologize. Okay, so guys, as I was saying, you have what's going on is you have Esau is told to go out and hunt an animal so that the meat of the animal can be used for a stew. And now you have the mother go and say, okay, no, this is not going to happen. I want you to have the blessing, my son, my Jacob, and I want you to have that blessing. So you go out to our goats, and you also get a goat, and I will prepare from that goat. So 2 different meals, or two different stews, right? And she said, I will make savory food for your father, such as he loves, and you shall take it to your father, that he may eat it, that he may bless you. So basically, she wants the blessing to be upon Jacob, not upon Esau, right? And that's her feelings. Isaac's feeling, or yeah, I believe it's Isaac's feelings, is Isaac wants to bless Esau because he's the oldest, right? But to bless him. And she's like, no, 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 I want the younger one. But she doesn't say anything to Isaac, right? Before his death. And said Jacob, so Jacob responds to his mother, look, Esau is my brother, a man hairy, so a hairy man, and I am a man, I am smooth skinned. I don't have a lot of hair. Perhaps will fill me, my father, meaning maybe he might touch my arm or something when he's giving the blessing, and he might be able to tell that I am not Esau, right? Then I shall seem to be to him a deceiver. So basically, he's going to think that I'm up to no good. My dad, my dad's going to think I'm up to no good. Okay. Now, technically, to be honest, what they're doing, they literally are deceiving, right, in a cunning way, Isaac. So even though he's saying here that he might think of me as a deceiver, well, buddy, if you listen to your mom, you guys are already deceiving Isaac. Whether he knows you're deceived who you are or not, you're still deceiving them. And he says, and I shall bring on myself a curse, right? In other words, Dad's gonna be mad at me, and I'm gonna end up with a curse, not a blessing. But said to him, his mother. That means his mother said to him, "On me let your curse be." So basically, if for whatever reason Isaac finds out that you are Jacob and not Esau, then please, I pray that let the curse be upon me. The word here, let, right? Let the curse. So it is a curse, vilification, things like that. But the let part, right, is I want the curse to be placed upon myself. It's kind of the same idea as like a parent seeing their child sick and suffering, and they're going, I wish I could take that on myself so my child doesn't have to go through it. Okay. Let the curse be upon me, my son, only obey. So basically, obey my son, let the curse be upon me, my voice. And go for me, get them. And he went, so he obeyed. He went and he got them, and he brought them to his mother, and made his mother, that means his mother made, savory food such as loved his father. Made his kind of like a meal that his dad really loved. So she made that meal. And that makes sense because most women that are in relationships, they know what foods over time, they know what foods that their lover, or whoever they're married to or whatever, what foods they love to eat. So, and took Rebecca the clothes, so she took the clothes of Esau, her son, the elder, right, the finest that were with her. So the finest clothes in her house, and put them on Jacob. So dress in your brother's clothes, deceiving again Isaac. And she put it on her son, Jacob, the younger, the skins of the kids. So she skinned up, because remember, she's making a stew. So she ended the life of the offspring of the goats that she asked him to get, right? And she used the meat to make the stew. But then she also used the skins, right here, of the kids, of the goats. She put on his hands, so like, I guess, cutting little strips of it, right? Because the goats are very hairy. So she's like, let me cut pieces of the skin and put it on you, right? And she put it on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. Now, whether that's the back of the neck or the front of the neck, I don't know, right? So it's neck or back of neck is what the description says. So she put it on the back of the neck. And she gave the savory food that she had cooked and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of Jacob. So, Anyway, so as I said, and I've had 2 calls come in, so I do apologize about having to pause the video. But she gave the savory food and bread, and she handed it to her son Jacob, right? So he went to his father and said, "My father," and you know, it maybe he doesn't have good hearing because the skin of the animal that she used, that's just dealing with the touch. There's still the sense of maybe he can't even tell the difference between the voices of his 2 sons. I don't know. And he said, "My father, here I am. Who are you, my son?" And said Jacob to his father, and this is where Jacob is lying, by the way, "I am Esau, your firstborn." Right? So this also tells the fact that maybe the dad, first of all, probably has good sensibility with his fingers to where he can feel, but doesn't have really good sight. And that's why at the beginning, if you remember, it said something about his eyes, right? So his eyes are not really good, so he can see visibly to be able to tell which is which. So like he's losing his eyesight. And I would imagine he probably doesn't have super good hearing to be able to tell the difference between Jacob's voice and Esau's voice. Okay. Anyway, Jacob says, "I am your firstborn." Now he's lying at that point, so he's already breaking God's law. So was Rebecca by doing that. So just letting you guys know, okay? The firstborn. "I have done just as you have told me. Arise, please, and sit and eat of the game that may bless me, your soul," right? But said Isaac to his son, "How is it you have so quickly found it?" Right? So he's kind of questioning. He's going, "Well, wait a minute. I told you to go out to the wilderness and find an animal, and that should take a lot of time. But this hasn't taken a lot of time." So it's like something's not sitting right with him. So he's like, "What's going on here?" Right? But it's not the voice. He's not recognizing. It's not the voice that he's not recognizing. You know what I mean? It's the time frame of how long it took to make food. And he said, "Because I brought it, Yahweh, your God, to me." So basically, God brought it upon me. So this is Yahweh, right? Yeah. So pay attention. Yahweh, right? God, Jehovah, the existing one. The noun below it is singular, right? So singular. Yahweh, your God, okay? Which is Elo Haisha, Elo Haika, or Haisha, okay? Plural, right? So we have singular, plural, your God. Both singular and plural in the same God, right? Get it? 3 in 1, okay? To me, and said Isaac to Jacob. So he basically is like, God brought this animal to me quickly, kind of thing. And he said to Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near." Now remember, Isaac says to Jacob here, but Isaac still thinks that Jacob is Esau. "Come near, please, that I may feel you," right? Because he knows his son is hairy, right? And that's why Rebecca is like, put on this skin of hair. And that's why Isaac was like, that's why Jacob was like, "I'm not hairy like my brother," right? "That I may feel you are my son, you my son, you really are." So like, let me test. Because right now he's already questioning because he's like, "I don't know, the time it took to make this and the time it took to get the animal doesn't really match up." So he's questioning that. And he says, "Really you are my son, Esau, or not?" So he's like, "I want to find out the truth. I want to know what the truth is." So went near Jacob to Esau. So Jacob goes near to his father. And he felt him. That would be Isaac felt Jacob's, probably his hands and neck and stuff. And said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob." So even he right there, even that lets you know, he's recognizing the voice is the voice of Jacob. Right? So I'm looking at the time doesn't match up. I'm hearing the voice as well. And now I'm saying I don't recognize the voice is of my other son. Right? but the hands are the hands of Esau, right? And not he did recognize him, because were his hands like the hands of Esau, his brother, hairy. So so even though he's having some doubts, he still decides to bless him, right? And he said, "Is this you, my son Esau?" And he said, "I am." And he said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of the game, my sons, basically my son's game, so that may bless you, basically so that I may bless you, my soul, so that so he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, right there, wine, right? So not water, not anything but wine, right? And he drank the wine, right? So right there, wine. So yes, people in the Bible, wine. Okay, it's not wrong to have a drink. It's wrong to get drunk. Scripture says that in numerous places. One of them is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 through 11, which brings up being a drunkard, right? So you get the idea. Verse 26, and said to him, Isaac, his father, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came, now this would be kiss on probably the cheek or something like that, okay? And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled, right, the smell of his clothes. That's why Rebekah put the clothes on him from the brother, and blessed him, and said, surely the smell of my son is like the smell of the field, which has blessed Yahweh. Basically, that Yahweh has created and blessed all of creation, including the fields. Verse 28, therefore may give you God, Ha Elohim, right? I think it's Elohim. That last part is difficult too. Elohim. I think it's like, kind of thing. Ha Elohim. I'm just going to try. I honestly don't know. I don't know if Ha Elohim would know to it or not. Anyway, God of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of grain and wine, right? Let serve you peoples and bow down to you, be nations, master. So basically, let the nations and the peoples serve you. Let you become high positioned, right? And now we give a context. Over your brothers, right? So let the nations bow down to you. People of the nations bow down to you. And let you be the master over your brothers. So who is in authority, in other words, right? The word master here is giver, right? Giver, Lord or ruler, right? And let bow down, okay? Ve yishta chava, right? Ve yishta chava. To bow down, right? Or to prostrate oneself, not in the way of worshiping him, but just like healthy respect and honor and like dependence upon another type, things like that. To you, the sons of your mother, those who curse you. So if anyone does curse you, let them be cursed. Those who bless you, let them be blessed, right? And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had finished the blessings on Jacob, right, and scarcely gone out from Jacob, the presence of Isaac. So basically, Jacob gets blessed. Jacob barely goes out of the tent, right, in the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came from the hunting, right? So soon as his brother goes out, right, he zooms out, and what happens? Esau's brother comes in from the hunting and has made he also savory food and brought it to his father and said to his father, let arise, my father, and eat of the game, his son, that you may bless your soul, or bless my soul, or something like that. a blessing basically, and said to him, Isaac, his father, who are you? He said, I am your son, your firstborn Esau. And trembled Isaac, trembling exceedingly, greatly, okay, even to abundance, even to the overflow, okay, and said, who then is the one who hunted the game and brought it to me, and I ate of it all before you came? So now he's like, oh my goodness, what happened? What? Oh my goodness, what's going on? Oh my goodness, I gave my, if you're Esau, I hear the voice, I recognize the voice. What happened? What's going on? Right? And I have blessed him, and indeed, blessed he shall be. So I give the blessing. God loves me, and therefore God gives honor upon those who are in my family, in my lineage. And especially if I give a blessing, great favor is going to be upon that. So he's like, I gave a blessing, and the blessing shall be kept by God. Right? Verse 34. When Esau heard these words of his father, he cried. Okay? To cry out. Right? Give a cry out. To cry out. A cry, great and bitter, right? And exceedingly. So a very deep, heartfelt crying. Maybe not necessarily like crying, bawling like a baby, but crying in the sense of like extreme emotional expelling of what you're feeling within. Okay? And said to his father, bless me also. So he's like, okay, you gave a blessing to the wrong person. Now please also give me a blessing. Also, my father to me. But he said, came your brother with deceit, right there, with deceit, right? Be merma, be merma, okay? Deceit or treachery, right? And has taken away, stolen, basically, deceit and stolen your blessing. And Esau said, is not he rightly called the name Jacob, right? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. My birthright he took away, behold, and now he takes away my blessing. Okay? Now, you get the idea. So, there's a double trickery, basically. Right? He has supplanted me. Right? Circumvented, take by the heel, follow at heel, right? Overreach. Okay? So, this is kind of like basically saying that Esau is saying that Jacob has tricked him twice and has stolen what belongs to him twice. Now, the first one would be when he's hungry and he exchanges his birthright, right? His birthright of being the firstborn. Not the firstborn like you exchange the years of age, but firstborn in a different way, as in like I guess your higher position or something of that sort. I honestly don't get this part all too well for the most part, so I'm just trying my best here. But what we do know is that the birthright, which usually falls upon the oldest, right? That was stolen by Jacob from Esau, but when Esau was hungry, okay. And then now we have it again where he steals the blessing, right? My birthright. He took away, and behold, now he takes away my blessing. And he said, not have you reserved from me a blessing, and basically, do you not have nothing left for me? Yes, my birthright was stolen. Yes, my blessing was stolen. Do you not have nothing left for me, Dad? Kind of thing. Isaac and said to Esau, indeed, Master, I have made him. Hear that again. Master, I have made him. By the blessing I give, that will be honored by God unto you, and all his brothers I have given to him as servants, and with grain and wine I have sustained him. And for you, now, what shall I do, my son? Meaning, how shall I bless you? What kind of blessing shall I give to you? It's kind of like, I gave this blessing, I gave this thing from my house, I gave this of my house, I gave this of my house. So, what do I have left to give? I don't know, kind of thing. Like looking around, what can I give you? My son, and said Esau to his father, blessing one it is to you, my father. Bless also me, my father. And lifted up Esau his voice and wept. That literally means the crying, right? And answered Isaac to his father. And answered Isaac his father, meaning Isaac being the dad, answered and said to him, behold, the fatness of the earth shall be your dwelling, right? And of the dew of heaven from above, and by your sword you shall live. So you shall be a fighter. You shall have to always fight to survive. A wild man, a fighter, very, very natural. Okay, very natural way of dealing with it. Okay, so you get the idea. And your brother you shall serve, and it shall come to pass when you become restless that you shall break his yoke from your neck, or his control over you when you become restless. So hated Esau Jacob because of the blessing. So Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing which was blessed him, his father. Esau in his heart are at hand for the days of mourning for my father. Then I will kill Jacob. So now he's already planning to kill his brother, my brother, and we're told Rebekah to the words of Esau, her son. Right? So basically Rebekah somehow gets a hold of the words of Esau now, right? The older son. So she sent and called Jacob, the younger son, and said to him, surely Esau, your brother, comforts himself concerning you to kill you, right? Lihare gacha. Lihare gasha. Right? To kill, to slay, to murder. Right? And therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise and flee. Run. Get away. Run from our house. Run away from home to Laban, my brother. Right? If I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, I believe Laban was the one, that was the brother of Rebekah when the servant of Abraham went looking for Rebekah, and the servant gave a bride price, not only to Rebekah, but also to Laban and to the parents. So Laban is the brother of Rebekah. So basically she says, flee and run to your uncle in Haran and stay with him a few days until that turns away fury. Basically, until your brother calms down and stops wanting to kill you. 45. Until turns away anger your brothers for you. So when he stops wanting to kill you, that's when you can come back. And he forgets what you have done. So basically, and when time comes that he forgets and he is no longer hateful and all that to him, then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved, right? Also of you both. So the word bereaved here is eskal, right? Eskal, to be bereaved, to make childless, right? Barren, abortion, miscarriage, right? But childless in this case. Why should I be childless of both of my kids in one day? And said Rebekah to Isaac, right? That's the wife. Oh my. Anyway, so back as we go. And said Rebekah to Isaac, right? So Rebekah, the wife, says to Isaac, the dad, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If takes Jacob a wife of the daughters of Heth, like these, who are the daughters of the land, what good will be to me my life? Okay, So kind of like, I don't want my son to end up with these daughters of hell, in other words. So now that we're done reading of the whole chapter of 27, right? The general idea of this particular thing is centered around the idea of trickery, okay? Trickery and deceit and lying, okay? So that's how I'm going to tie it to you, okay? As good of reasons as a person might come up with to lie, right? And we've seen it in the videos that we've been doing. We've seen it with Abraham, right? When Abraham goes into town with King Abimelech, with his wife Sarah, and he tells Sarah to lie and say, I'm the sister. And we even see it in like one of the last videos where even his son did it, right? Did the same thing, okay? Whatever reason you might think would warrant lying, there is no warranty. There is no way of making something sinful okay to do. Under any circumstances that you might have to deal with, there's no way to make it okay to do it. There's no way to go, hey, if this is the reason, it's justified. Get my understanding? Okay. There's no way of doing that. So we have to understand, we have to avoid that in our lives. I don't care what the reason is. You should never, ever, ever intentionally deceive anyone under any circumstance, for any reason, any motive. You should always live your life in truth and in spirit of the Lord, always being as honest and upfront and and having true authenticity of yourself, no matter what the situation, what the circumstance, or anything. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to take out of this. Okay, so guys, thank you for your time. I do apologize about the cat distraction. I do apologize about a couple calls that came in and having to pause it. And I hope that you go out having been more learned about Scripture than when you came in. Now, I will also say this. Most of this Old Testament stuff, there's not going to be a whole lot of depth as far as like the difference between the Hebrew words and the English words for the most part. That's why most of these words I'm just reading to you. It's the New Testament stuff in the Greek that the meaning of the words drastically shifts. Okay? But I do hover, as you've seen, I do hover over certain words so you can get the understanding of it. Okay. In any case, guys, be blessed, take care, and thank you for your time.